Mike Callahan here, back again with Callahan's Corner. Had a question submitted this week, and gentleman wanted to know in his service business, when is it a good time to automate his business, and do I have any tips or tricks to actually go out and automate your service business? So, a little background on myself. I went out and automated my service business almost probably 8 or 9 years ago, and I'm going to share some of the tips and tricks that we learned along the way. Of actually knowing when it's ready to actually automate your business, how to go in and track the different procedures to make sure it's a good ROI, return on investment, and how to get your team to actually buy into automation. So the biggest pushback or knee-jerk reaction we find with team members or business owners is that when we go to automate a business, people think we're replacing them with a piece of software, and that's definitely not what we're doing. So if you have any comments or questions on the live or recorded version here, feel free to ask. But as we go here, the step number one is to basically embrace technology. When is it the right time to automate? And if you're looking at your service business, you want to know, is it the right time to automate my service business? The first thing I'm going to say is most service businesses wait entirely too long to adapt new technology. So if your business is feeling the weight of daily tasks slowing you down, it's time to automate. Invest some money in a software that will help you automate these tasks and buy back time and money in the long run by automating all those tasks. Step number two is it the right time to automate far as your business? Tip number two is going to be to track the time. So use time tracking on all your daily routines. So I would suggest going in and have your team use like a Google Sheet and track the time you're spending on tasks that could be automated. And once you go in and go from top to bottom, what are the major time things that are sucking time out? So is it accounts overdue? Is it getting invoices out? Is it upselling? Is it quality control? Is it communicating when your teams are going to be at a property or they've left a property? All these things can be automated and reduce the human input to get the people on your team to do higher level ROI things. So tip number two is track the time and see what tasks you perform regularly and where you can go in and do that. And productivity, or how will it improve your service business? So take a look at, after you track the time, how will that increase productivity or save time? And these two steps are going to help you create a clear, non-emotional priority list of what things to automate first if you choose to automate. Now, step number three is going in and reducing the number of processes or procedures in your service business. So the first thing we want to look at is, can we reduce the number of marketing procedures, logistics, sales, and customer service process? So those four are the big ones: marketing, logistics, sales, and customer service. I would probably actually add a fifth here as I'm thinking about it, accounts receivable, but those may be customer service processes as well. Use a limited time frame of 2 to maybe a month, 2 weeks to a month, to review all the processes and systems in your business and work from the top down for the most important processes to the least important. And this process is going to help you go in and hopefully eliminate some of the processes that aren't actually needed in your business. There's repetition, or maybe they've been in place since day one and you haven't actually looked at them. And then the ones that are still left, we're going to optimize the process and procedure to create bottom line results and start to buy that time back. Now, the fourth and final step of automating your business is include your team. So most businesses will go off a site, or the business owner will kind of come off the grid and literally go in after everything is built and go into their team and say, hey, this is a new automation, and this is what we're doing. You need to start doing it tomorrow. So if your team is not bought in from the start, in my opinion, your new automations are basically doomed from the start. So you want to show your team how these actions will work and how they'll improve everyone's life and performance at work. And then explain how basically we're not going out to replace the people, but we're actually putting the people in your organization on higher level functions so they can have a higher level return on investment and hopefully maybe expand their scope of work and potentially their pay. So the idea is not to replace people, it's to empower people and avoid having to do the tedious and monotonous tasks. So one study we did with some Facebook estimator bots that we're doing is that with the Facebook automated AI, artificial intelligence, and the sync into a CRM such as Service Autopilot, we were able to basically get back close to 18 weeks of time And when that was basically is these salespeople doing all the double entry and working the system. Now the automation qualified and primed the leads and put the most important leads in front of them in a systematic way, and buying time back. So I don't know about you, but if I could get an extra 18 to 20 weeks of production out of my sales team, that's a big bottom line improvement. And now your sales team isn't bogged down in the minutia in the monotonous tasks, but they're just doing the high level value. So if they're on commission, that's something you want to communicate with them, that this is going to make you more successful and put more money in your pocket. And bring your team on in the automation implementation step by step. So like I said, literally from day one or as soon as possible, involve your key team in the step-by-step implementation and automation decisions that you're building in your business. So those are the 4 steps that I would recommend when automating a business. Embrace the technology. Make sure the time is right to automate. Next thing is, if it is the right time, track the time in each area of the business that you do routinely and go in and see where the biggest return on investment would happen from top to bottom. We want to reduce the number of processes and then streamline the remaining ones. And then the 4th one is include your team, get buy-in from day one. And those are the 4 main key points to automating a service business with success from day one. So comments or questions, drop them below. Callahan's Corner. You ask the questions, we answer them live right here on Facebook.